They say curiosity killed the cat, but what they never mention is what happens after, what curiosity lets in. Jack wasn't superstitious, he was just tired. Tired of waking up exhausted, of finding scratches on his arms, of hearing weird thumps in the night. So he did what any modern adult with Wi-Fi and mild paranoia would do. He bought a security camera. Nothing fancy, just a basic motion-activated one he could connect to his phone. Mounted it on the top corner of his bedroom wall, aimed directly at the bed. The idea was simple. Catch whatever was messing with his sleep. Maybe it was sleepwalking. Maybe mice. Maybe he was just stressed. But what the camera caught wasn't any of that. The first night, nothing. Jack slept like a rock for once. The camera app sent a few notifications. Motion detected at 3:08 a.m., another at 3:13. But when he checked the playback, it showed only his blanket shifting slightly. A glitch, maybe. Second night? Same thing. Small movements, noise blips, nothing major. But on the third night, the footage triggered 12 alerts. Jack clicked the first one half asleep, expecting more blanket shuffling. What he saw instead made him sit upright in bed. The room was dark, as expected. His body was still. But in the corner of the screen, just barely visible, something was standing. A shape, tall, thin, leaning against the wall behind the camera, watching him. Jack rewound, paused, zoomed in. There were no features, just the silhouette. He figured it had to be a shadow trick. Maybe his coat hanging weird. But then he saw the motion. At 3:11 a.m., the shape moved, slid closer to the foot of his bed. Not walking, just gliding. Jack was frozen watching the screen. The thing tilted its head, almost like it was listening. Then it turned, slowly, toward the camera. That's when the feed cut. Not the file. Not the battery. The feed. The camera shut off mid-recording. It stayed offline until 5:42 a.m. Jack hadn't touched it. He tried to rationalize it. Maybe a system error. Maybe the app glitched. So he reset the camera. Factory settings, new passwords. He even slept with the lights on. The next night, no movement, no glitches. Just 2 hours of him tossing and turning. But at 3:06 a.m., the screen flickered. For exactly 1 second, the feed went black and came back showing something sitting on his chest. A dark mass. Not heavy, not touching him. Just there, looking down, as if it had always been part of the room. The timestamp never skipped. No gaps. Jack hadn't stirred. It was like his body didn't even know it was being watched. He showed the footage to a friend, Sam, who worked in digital media. Sam examined the files. No evidence of tampering, no signs of overlay or manipulation. But one thing stood out. Every single clip with the figure had corrupted metadata. And in the audio spectrum there was a faint whisper at 3:13 every night. One phrase. Repeated, over and over. Don't look. Jack unplugged the camera, threw it in a drawer. For the first time in days, he felt relief, but that night he woke up gasping. Not from a dream, from a voice, soft, right beside his ear. Now I can see you too. The next morning, the camera was on his nightstand, plugged in, the light blinking red. The app, which Jack had deleted, was reinstalled on his phone. He hadn't done it. The footage from that night? It showed him sleeping. Peaceful. Still. But in the final frame, as the video cut out at 3:14 a.m., his eyes opened, wide, staring directly at the lens. Except he swore he had slept through the night. Jack moved out of that apartment, never took the camera with him. But he kept getting motion alerts. Every night. 3:13 a.m. The app still worked, still connected to the camera, still sent him footage of an empty room, except for a figure sitting on the bed, waiting, staring. He tried factory resetting it again, changing emails, swapping phones. Nothing worked. Some say he's just paranoid, that it was all a bad dream fueled by internet horror forums. But here's the thing. The camera model Jack used, it's discontinued. After a string of user complaints, random footage uploads, whispering glitches. Entities. Some people think it's an urban legend, a cursed app, a marketing stunt gone wrong. But if you ever think about installing a camera in your room to feel safer, maybe think twice. And if you do install it, whatever you see at 3:13 a.m., don't watch it alone. And definitely, don't look directly at the camera.